Okay guys, this video is going to be on the transition period between Rome the Republic and Rome the Empire. To start us off, we're going to talk a little bit about Roman society so we can get an idea of what some of the problems were and how people dealt with them. First of all, the quality of Roman life varied greatly. Those who were poor had difficult lives. Many were unemployed and lived in dangerous neighborhoods with crime and dangerous buildings that frequently caught on fire or just collapsed because they were so poorly maintained. In order to distract the people from their problems, the government provided free entertainment such as chariot races, gladiator fights, and exotic animal hunts, and Christian executions as well. By about 100 BC, Rome's going to face a lot of problems. First of all, the size of the empire was a big problem. The Romans outgrew the governing capacity of the Roman Republic. It was never meant to govern a huge empire. Other problems included corruption of government officials. Many senators took bribes and sold their vote to whomever paid them the most money. This isn't an efficient way to make political decisions that your society is based on. Also, the spread of slavery is going to increase within the Roman Empire. As Rome expanded, conquered peoples were enslaved and sold back to wealthy Roman estate owners. This is similar to the southern plantation system during this period of slavery in the United States. But remember, Roman slavery wasn't based on racial differences, though. The lower class farmers who depended on themselves and their family for farm labor, they couldn't compete with the crop production of these large estates that used this slave labor. And many landowning farmers lost their land and had to travel the countryside as migrant workers or move to the city to join the unemployed masses. Money was also an issue in other ways as well. First of all, the value of Roman currency is going to fall, and it's going to make things even more expensive to buy. Also, taxation was unfair. The government used tax farmers to collect money from the people from people so that the government could get the money that it badly needed. Now, these tax farmers, they collected taxes so they could make a profit for themselves. There was a business proposition for them. They had little restriction on how they could tax people, and they taxed people differently. If a person could not afford the heavy taxes that the greediest tax farmers required, they could lose their possessions, their land, or even their freedom. Now, many Romans are going to be fed up with the problems of the Republic. The government is going to turn to Julius Caesar and others to help solve the political and economic problems of Rome. Now, Caesar was very successful as both a political and military leader, and was therefore very popular with the Roman people. However, his influence and his power drew suspicion and fear from the Senate, which had always been the most powerful government body in Rome. Now, the Senate called on Caesar to return home to Rome while he was serving as a governor of another Roman province, but they reminded him not to bring his army. Now, that was part of the 12 tables, that no general could bring the army into Rome. Now, Caesar knew that the Senate was corrupt and up to no good, so he had to bring his army into the city anyways, which was against the 12 tables. And after a civil war with another half of the Roman army, he wins and becomes dictator with sole power over the government. Now, while you think that people might be upset with their democratic government being overthrown, they were actually happy, and they declared him dictator for life. Now, the Senate, on the other hand, was furious. Some senators conspired against Caesar and assassinated him by stabbing him to death dozens of times. Now, after his violent death, his nephew and adopted son Octavian is going to lead his army in a new civil war, and he's going to win and take power. And he becomes known as Augustus, meaning respected one. Now, the people like Caesar, so they're going to like his adopted son as well. And the people also liked Augustus and called him their emperor, although he never accepted that title officially. Now, Augustus was the perfect guy for this really turbulent time. He kept the taxes fair, he ordered building programs and put people to work, and he kept a good relationship with the Senate. He also cut down on the number of people on welfare. And he began a 200-year period that was known as the Roman Golden Age, or the Pax Romana, which means Roman peace. During this time, there was relative peace and prosperity in Rome, and there were many cultural achievements as well. During the Pax Romana, Augustus created social programs to help the poor. He provided food, education, and entertainment.